Hey everybody, and welcome to the main event. Whoa, what's going on here? I'm going to jump right into today's show because I've got a funny story to share with you guys. And yeah, it's a story that I shared with Pam before on her show, but she wasn't there at the time that this story took place, and she interrupts a lot, so I thought it would be fun. And I've also gained a lot of new followers. What the heck? There we go. Since getting my own little video cast thing going. So, what the hell? I'm going to recycle the story, tell it my way, because I was the one that was there, and it's a lighthearted, funny story. So, back in the day, Pam's mom, who was one of the Andrews sisters, and her aunt, the other one of the Andrews sisters, because her Aunt Laverne had passed away already in 1967, so there were only two remaining sisters left. They had a tumultuous relationship, and they didn't talk for a little bit, mostly because of Patty's husband, Pam's stepfather, Wally, who most of you guys know was a real jerk. Well, anyways, Pam's aunt was performing at a club back in the day, and Wally, Pam's stepfather, Patty's husband, now we've got all the players. I think you guys can follow it. I should draw out a diagram or something. He was worried that Maxene was going to do some kind of a song that maybe he wrote or take credit for something that she shouldn't take credit for or something in the show. But they couldn't go to the show blatantly without drawing attention, so he had asked Pam to go. And he asked Pam to go and take a cassette tape recorder with her in her purse and tape the show so he could hear everything that Maxene did in her act and, either go crazy and get mad because she said something she shouldn't have about Patty or what have you. But Pam couldn't do it that particular night, and I don't remember the reasoning why Pam couldn't do it, but there must have been a good reason. So instead of Pam doing it, here I was, this maybe 14, 15-year-old, if that, really pretty boy. I was a very pretty boy. Everybody thought I was a girl. I was so pretty. I had very long hair and, pretty. So Pam got the harebrained idea, as Pam often does, to throw one of her dresses on me and I didn't even need a wig. I had long hair, throw some makeup on me and give me a purse with a cassette recorder and her, California ID. And I went in as Pam to audio tape Maxine's show. I remember going in there, and I remember sitting all the way in the back, and I was kind of shy. And the guy, was so nice to me, the waiter. He kept bringing me drinks on the house. I think he liked me. And eventually I kept moving myself up closer and closer to the stage because the audience wasn't quite there yet, and it was a sit where you want to type of a situation. So by the time the show started, I was sitting ringside. I was at the stage. I had moved all the way up with my tape recorder in my purse. And I taped Maxine's show. This is the problem. Not only did I tape Maxine's show, I happen to love Maxine's show. And I was applauding and screaming and laughing and crying and everything one does through a show that they really enjoy. And when Wally got the tape recording back, he heard all of that, and boy, was he mad because, he didn't want me to enjoy the show. He didn't want anyone to enjoy Maxine's show, but she put on a good show. But anyways, going back to when I was there at the show as Pam, picture it, with tape recording in my purse, I was sitting there and after the show, and I see Weezie Jefferson from the Jeffersons. I can't remember her name right now, and maybe you guys can put it down there on the bottom. Whoever remembers, I could Google it, but I'm not going to bother to because I'm doing this. Isabel Sanford, I remembered, it just popped in my head. I said, Weezie! And she came up, she was so nice. Hi, how are ya? Problem number 2. Weezie liked me too, if you know what I mean. And Weezie wanted me to go backstage and meet Maxene. I couldn't go backstage and meet Maxene because as pretty as a girl I was, Maxene knew me as a boy, and I didn't want Maxene to look at me and put 2 and 2 together, so I had to politely decline Weezie's offer. This is all true, by the way. I'm not making up a minute of this. Life, growing up with Pam, I've got enough stories to last a lifetime. Anyway, so I got out of there quickly. I got back into my boy clothes, and Wally got the tape recording. And as far as I know, there was nothing to sue Maxine over. Everything was fine. So that's my little story. And I wanted to, put in my complaint, of course, my daily complaint, and that is that I have watched every single movie from last year. And I have a question actually. What's wrong with the happy endings now? Why can't we have a happy ending? And I don't want to give anything away because I don't know what movies you all have seen and what you haven't seen. But every damn movie I saw from last year was miserable. It was depressing. They were depressing. A few of them I don't even think I made all the way through. A couple of them were great and happy in the beginning and the middle and then turned depressing at the end. Now, back in the 40s, when the world was at war and things were so terrible, people would go to the movies for escapism, They'd go to musicals and such to escape the harsh realities of life. And nowadays, it just seems like society won't accept anything that's unrealistic. And that's why a lot of people trashed La La Land because, God forbid somebody should get up and sing and dance in the middle of a movie. Well, that's what movies are for. It's kind of to stretch your imagination. Yeah, Ryan Gosling was no Fred Astaire or dance-wise and no Frank Sinatra vocal-wise, but at least it was a musical. Of course, the way that ended. Oh, never mind. You may not have seen it yet. Anyway, so that's my complaint for the day. And like I end every show, please take care of yourselves and each other, and especially your pets. I take care of mine. I love him more than anything in the world. He's my baby. And I will tell you guys, I will see you tomorrow. Thanks. Oh, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. I'll put another link up. Bye.